What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this edition of Kriegs Korner with the K. I'm your host, Adam Krieger. Today we got a great show for you. First, I bring on my boy Antonio. We talk about just honestly just being a hustler, what he does to make money, how he's done it, some things he's learned along the way, how he got to where he is. Then in the back half of the show, I bring on my boy Scotty Ice. We talk about the NFL, the draft coming up, the offseason news thus far. And I also start off that interview with a little cool question I want to hear your guys' feedback for. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Adam Krieger 1997. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you think. If you're listening on Spotify, like it, download it. Let me know when you listen. Screenshot it, send it to me. Soon we got a raffle coming on we're gonna do a little bit of giveaway action, but make sure you guys enjoy the show. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to this edition of Kriegs Korner. Today I'm joined by a very good friend of mine. I met him as our college wrestler, College of Mount St. Vincent. My boy Antonio. What's going on, Antonio?
What's up, Adam? I'm glad you called me to have me on your podcast.
Yeah, so um if this is your first listen to the show, I just want to let you guys know the first half we usually talk to some entrepreneurs, some business people, just learn a little bit about the trade. So, but before we get into that, Brito, tell me about yourself. Tell me about your background and what made you get to this point.
All right, so my name is Antonio Brito. I'm from Queens, New York. Um, Pretty much it all started when I wrestled in high school, and before that,
Actually, I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm gonna stop you right there because this is something that's a pretty big factor. Is like I think, and a lot of people in my company are actually former wrestlers, and I was gonna bring this up naturally, but you just jumped in straight into wrestling, so I actually fuck with that. Why? What do you think about wrestling made you built? Like I use it built different. I say wrestlers just built different.
yeah, like psychologically, it's a psychological thing.
All right, tell me about that. Tell me how your wrestling impacted the rest of your life.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I would always put in 100 hours a week, a ridiculous amount of time, and there was just kids that were just better. And even to this name, like I look at them and I'm like, I like Loki kind of hate them a little bit because I'm like, how did I put so much work in and they were just better. They're a little quicker than I was, a little stronger than I was. There's always something that you got that someone else doesn't have, like they had a mental edge over me and I just couldn't get around that. So these guys, all placed at states, they, won their sectionals, whatever they did. They were so good in college and I just kind of trailed behind. But then after high school, I just realized, I got to get back on my grind in a different way because, you're not good at one thing. It's cool. Strap on my boots and keep going, keep pushing.
Yeah, I mean, so my perspective on it is that the mental edge that you need to wrestle and be out there on the map by yourself is just like a different breed, and
Yeah, you really
it's
looking
not
for
for
like
it's not for everyone, but like you repurpose that energy. Give me like give me the biggest life skill you think you took from wrestling that you're carrying on into your life now.
you are not guaranteed shit, bro. I don't care how much you worked or what you think you deserve or what, because the guy next to you, he might be a scrub today, but tomorrow he's not a scrub. And this will be the death of me. It's my junior year in a sectional qualifier. I tech the kid. It was like the second period. I tech him. I step over him, and I'm just like clowning him, and he gets mad and whatever the case. I'm like, bro, you're a bum. Like the next year, he beats me in the sectionals right before the finals.
No, don't say that.
I was sick. I was sick. I mean, listen, it was a bullshit call, but he was a better guy that day. I was a little sick too, but he got the win over me. I can't say nothing. He was a hard worker. I like the kid. He's a cool kid. Shout out to Abby, bro. You ruined my wrestling career. But
So now that you know, Antonio and I both wrestled at the college we're at now, and they cut the program about 2 years ago now. So you know,
at the Daniel,
I went there to wrestle. I think you also went there to wrestle, and
I was
and things
recruited there, yeah.
yeah things just kind of like things just kind of went shitty. So what have you been doing since?
Since they cut the program, or like since I
Since they cut the program, what are you putting your extra time and energy into?
so when I was a little young, I would resell shoes. So I would go to thrift stores and pawn shops and find beat up Jordans. So I would re-glue the soles. I'll clean them up with toothbrushes and I'll resell them on eBay to make $20 a pair, $10, whatever. I was a little kid. I always knew how to do that and I always had a quick flip. So anytime I ever needed money for anything, I didn't like to ask my parents for money because we don't really have money. So I just did my own kind of flips and whatever I need to do. I'd work like some janitor work on the side, whatever. But when I got to college, it started to break away where I was like, yeah, wrestling is cool. Wrestling is a hobby, and I still was mixed in with it, but I also had my own other activities going on too. So I would like start reselling heavy, where I would start paying people in dozens like to get me shoes. So it was small operation at first, maybe like 100 pairs a month buying, but then it started ramping up where I think last month I think I was buying like 100 pairs a week at least, 200 pairs a week like at least. My turnover was ridiculous, but it just became where a lot of these kids in college that I was in class with, they were like 23, 24, and like their main hobby was like drinking beer, and like that's it.
That
Until
ain't you.
yeah, nah, it's not me, man. Not me. We hung out and we known each other for a while now. Not me. I'm all good for a good time, but I got bigger things to worry about right now. Not
Yeah, that's a big reason why I think Antonio and I are still got close. I mean, we only were on the team for a year together. I came in late. I'm one of those older kids that came to school late. But like,
you're the
but
grandfather.
Brito and I, we both like there was just some the grind aspect to it, the ability to just put your mind to something and do it and hustle. So we're gonna get back into the sneaker stuff in a little bit, but give me, dude, you're the most interesting follow on Instagram because you have just so much other shit going on. First, I'll wake up and it'll be stocks, and then the next 40 posts are just sneakers, sneakers, sneakers. So what do you think is yours going to be like your long term goal? What are you looking to do?
See, like the thing is, like there is no goal. So like people have goals like to get rich, or people have goals to like do this. It's not about the goal; it's about the path to the goal. Because you go back a year, my goal was like, oh, I want to have a Tesla. Oh, I want to have this much money, or I want to have these clothes. Okay, now once you get all that, I have all that stuff now. Now it's like, now what? So you can't make a goal a material thing or like a almost an accomplishment because it doesn't matter. Like I wanted to be, on the Forbes list, 30 under 30, but no one cares about your 30 under 30. You're rich, great. You need a path that's going to get you there. Whereas I say, okay, I want to teach financially illiterate communities how to invest in the stock market safely, how to make, whatever the case may be. Now, that is something that can get me on a path to becoming the Forbes 30 under 30. Not that you're the richest dude, but you created almost like a service for someone, but a service in a good way. So 30 under 30 is a guy like Kylie Jenner. She created a makeup brand, whatever, guys like that. So it's
Yeah, I
not
mean,
the material. It's about like the goal, like the path to it. It's all about the grind. Like that's what it is. People like that work ethic. Like you just wake up all day, just work, 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 work. You come home and you feel fine. You're like, oh, I did a good day work.
so you said you want to start off some stock market advice for some financially illiterate communities. What would be your your top three stock tips? Not like individually stocks, but like what things you look for in your stocks and that type of stuff.
So one, it's difficult because everyone's in a different situation, and I understand why my parents can't invest the same way that I do. They're looking at it as like they're like 40. If they fuck up, they've really fucked up. We're 20 years, we fuck up, it's fine. We'll make it back in a little bit. So I would say like really dividend yields, like precious materials, harsh metals, like we need these things. These things are not going away. Gold, obviously. I would say get into like more of like the crypto side of it because that's the big up and coming thing. It's just so risky right now for like the
Bro,
old setting.
crypto scares the fuck out of me. I had Bitcoin like a little while back, like probably
I
like
took my
2016.
I took my biggest loss in like 2017 when it crashed. I lost like 20 grand, and that's all I had at the time. I started from zero again.
You had it all in Bitcoin back then?
I had a lot of it. I probably cashed out. I probably had like a few thousand left out of the whole 20. It was nothing. I pretty much washed the whole thing.
Yeah, that shit just scares me. Bitcoin, and you use Robinhood or are you off that shit now?
I use Robinhood. I mean, I had like 45, 50 shares of Tesla back when it was like 400 bucks. I sold out when I was like 750, whatever. Just cashed it out, call it a day.
Pre-merge or post-merge?
Post merge, like recently.
You did 40-50 before they split
Uh,
or after they
40,
split?
50 after they split. Before,
After they split.
yeah,
I was gonna say 40-50 before they split. You'd be,
it wasn't that much, but it wasn't that much. In the grand scheme of things, it was like 40 grand or so. Like it's not that much.
yeah. I mean, listen, it's all
School
relative to
debt,
what you
bro. Our school debt is
don't get me started on college debt, especially our school.
awesome.
Our school is ridiculous. But all right, so going back to the sneaker stuff, you said told us how you got into it, but like, what do you look for now when you're buying shoes? You just buy a lot of quality, or I mean, you buy big numbers, or you're looking for specific shoes, specific deals. Tell me about the sneaker life a little bit.
All right, so think of it as like you can't buy things off hype. You can't buy things because you think they're gonna sell, they look cool, or whatever the case may be. That doesn't concern me. You got to think of it as a jeweler. Gold can go up and down every day. As soon as you come in with a chain, he'll look at the chain, he'll wait. He already knows what he has to pay because he knows what's a safe ground that to make money in. So you could send me into any store, any Foot Locker, any Nike outlet, whatever the case may be. I'll scan the room instantly, take a 30-second loop around the store. I'll look around. Okay, I need this many pairs of this many pairs of this many pairs of this. This is my anticipated profit return, like return on investment. And I'll usually have a few of my friends with me, like some guys from college that want to make a little extra side cash. I'll be like, hey, tag along with me for the day, help me buy some shoes, and I'll just give you a little change. So stuff like that.
So you're buying, like, what kind of shoes you buying? Like 50 or
Nike,
50? No,
Adidas.
no. Like, give me like the specific Nike shoe that you're
I
looking for.
don't
Like
want to give up the sauce, but Jordan 1 mids, like Jordan 1 mid.
Jordan ones.
If you're listening to me right now, if you buy Jordan 1 mids, specifically leather pairs, they retail at like 115. Buy as many pairs as you can. 8 to like try to get like 7.5 to like a 9, and just hold it. Now, my personal buddy of mine, like me and him came up from the dirt. He's a little higher than me, but I've seen this kid turn like 100 grand into like half a mil in like a year and a half from shoes.
Just picking random shoes.
No, not random. A Jordan 1 mid will come out, decent colorway, but the market is going to rise because they're going to sell out. So everything is run by the Chinese market of shoes, overseas, Europe, like releases and styles, right? The smaller overseas, like in Europe and Asia, they have smaller feet. So like they like 7, 8, 9. Like guys over here like 14, 15, whatever the case may be. But you just buy it, put it in a storage unit for a little bit. It's like $30 a month. Save it for the year and watch it. You can use StockX, the stock market. The shoes fluctuate daily.
So you where are most of your shoe buyers from? They're from overseas, or you shipping overseas mostly, or it's US shit?
I consign. I do StockX and Go, but right now I just consign because I don't like to deal with the hassle. It's like a turnkey operation. I buy 1,000 pairs of shoes. I put it into this business. They'll take 20%. They'll ship it. They'll distribute it. They'll market it. They'll do everything for me. They just cut me a check at the end of the week when things sell. So that's how I was really like, I could afford whatever I do. I never really like worked per se. I tried, but like it didn't work out.
Do you ever plan on going to work, or are you just gonna keep working for yourself? Bro, your eyes when I just asked you that question was
no, it was I would wake up in the morning and I would be like, there's a lot of kids in this campus that their parents are they work in wealth management companies and they work on Wall Street, like the rich kid. And I'm like, wow, your dad's so cool. Like he has a Porsche and he has a house. And oh my God, I wish I had a house in the Hamptons. I need to work on Wall Street. And no, that's beat. Nobody know. People on Wall Street do not want to work on Wall Street. It's beat. I'm telling you. That 200 grand salary, 300 grand salary, that's great. It's beat unless you're like the head of your division. Other than that, it's not good, bro. It's not good. I would go to interviews. Like they would send me to interviews. The school would send me to interviews and stuff. And I would sit before the guy and ask me questions, what my hobbies are, what I do, what my goals, this experience. And then I asked him a couple questions. Hey, where'd you live? Like, where do you live? What do you do? Hobbies, what kind of car do you drive? Because it interests me. People's lives interest me. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, wait a minute. You're telling me you're going to hire me and I'm living better than you now. That blows my mind. I'm like, bro, you're 40. You're at the end of your life. You're at the end of the rope. And I'm getting judged by you to get a job. I'm like, bro, no, I'm sorry. All due respect, I said, I've done this many times. I'm like, listen, thank you for the opportunity, but I don't think it's for me. It's not. I see the potential of me in this company or whatever. It's not for me. Like, bro, you've personally seen me over 6-figure income, passive. I don't lie. I will show you receipts. I'll show you everything. I never lie to my friends. I always try to tell them, if you really believe in something and something works that you love, just do it. What did I tell you about the podcast? I said, bro, even if your podcast sucks, I'll reshare it, bro. Just do it. You like doing it. It'll get some buzz. Go nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that when I first met you, I didn't know what I didn't know what your grind was like. I know what your mentality was like. I mean, I met you, you were about to go through some stuff at school, but luckily everything worked out, dude. I mean, I don't know whether you think it worked out or not, because it's all right, but So what? So what are you gonna do? You should keep doing what you do right now. That's
Like,
it.
I'm not gonna lie, it just doesn't make. Listen, in your life, the time you spend is one of the some of the most valuable things. You can't give that away. Whether it's something negative, something consuming, do not give that away. You will not get your time back. Think back a few years, like, wow, I remember when I was in high school 5, 6 years ago, that passed by like nothing. If you're devoting your time to a job that you're not getting anything in return besides a measly paycheck, there's more to life than a paycheck. There's more to life than money. You have to find what you like to do. Now, in this sense, what I like to do is wear cool clothes and drive a nice car and shit like that. But because I'm young, I like that shit. So I have to find something that's going to supplement it. So me sitting behind a desk all day is not going to supplement any of this lifestyle changes. Like it's just not. I know these kind of guys that get the job that I really want in life. They're not going to hire me. I didn't graduate from Columbia. I didn't graduate from Harvard. I'm not from NYU Stern business program. Like I get it. It's cool. But I'll just
What
hire them. It's like hire an accountant. I hire all these guys now, so it's
what
cool.
is what is the job you really want in life? Like you just
If I could
said.
be,
Like
if I could be a hedge fund manager or like open my own hedge fund, which technically I like do that. So I have a few friends that are, they own a store in the city. They're in a little higher position in life. I basically say, hey, listen, this is my spreadsheet. Look at my returns. Look at my investments. Look at this, and they're like, okay, we see what you're doing. We like what you're doing. Here's your business credit card. Boom. Here's so money. So they'll give me like 50,000, 100,000, whatever the case may be of funds, and I'll buy items, merchandise that I think will make a good hit. Will sell, will increase in value, or I just get it at a low enough price that I could squeeze a few dollars out the pair. 10%, 20%, 30%. Now my returns are like on average like 40% return, 30% return, 50% return, depending on the month. But I mean, I have one of my buddies, I was damn near consistently making him 25, $3,000 a month. Now, on the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot, but for a 9 to 5 worker who's struggling to pay bills, all this man did was, hey, here's my credit card, run it up. I spent it, I put it in his account, I flipped it, and we split the profit. I made this man over $30,000, $40,000 from a $50,000 investment, and his sneakers are still kicking. They're still selling, still moving.
dude, it's crazy. The sneaker world is something that I never really understood. Mostly because I just didn't really like. I don't know. You see my shoes. I just wear like the basic ass like shoes. So I never really thought about anything like that. But dude, as soon as one time I went to try and get Yeezys for my cousin for Christmas, and
You realize you're like, wait a minute, he sold out instantly.
bro, not even that. Just like I got there. I don't know. The store, let's say, opened at 8 o'clock. I got there at 5 a.m. I thought I was gonna be the first in line. Bro, there was 150 people in front of me already, and
Yeah.
they were literally just going through checklists of like sizes they wanted because they knew what they could sell, and that was kind of what opened my eyes to it. But bro, it's like a whole new world. I mean, there's just so many goddamn ways to make money right now. It's incredible legally, and
I'm looking at people getting rich off unemployment, so there's a lot of ways to get money.
bro, don't start with that. Don't start with that. I don't fuck with that shit. Um, damn, Brito, you just fucking you just do what you want to do, huh?
Bro, like I tell everybody that's ever near me, you just gotta wake up in the morning and do what the fuck you want to do. If you walking around like a mopey Nancy all the time, like my life sucks and I have no money and like I have to go to work today, and no one cares. Shut up. Like my life sucks too. You see my Snap location. I'm up. I'm driving around. I'm doing deals. I'm busting deals. making like this is not easy, bro. I slept like 4 hours last night and I woke up for 8 a.m. class. So no one sees the back end work. They'll see the result. They're like, oh, this kid got a new car. Oh, look at Adam. Like, he just bought a house. He's got an apartment. Okay, yeah, they congratulate you at the end, but all the work you put in, the years, the nights when your friends are out hanging out and you're on your computer doing work. Right now, your friends are probably out right now at the bar having a beer. I mean, Corona, but still, probably watching the game together, having a beer, and you're making a podcast. And a few years from now, you never know, but could get a buzz. So
Yeah, it's a crazy, and I kind of live by the same mantra. I'm down to put the work in now and just kind of see what happens later. I've been dabbling in the market a little bit, trying to get my shit up, but I listen. I'm not throwing 40 G's in a month like you are, but listen, it all starts somewhere. It's
exactly, start somewhere. I used to start like $50. I didn't have any money. I would have to clean toilets for like $10 a day, like $10 a job, like $50 a day.
Dude, it's just like everyone's got to start somewhere, and it's all a matter of like the grind you put in.
Get the confidence. I was telling my cousin today, like he's in an environment where he's not getting supported. So even if your business sucks, it's literally terrible. You're losing money. You just have to have some kind of fucking confidence. Don't be like a little bitch about it. Like, what am I gonna do? It. Take a deep breath, reorganize the situation, mitigate the losses, and try something new. Try something new. If a baseball batter, if a batter strikes out every time, is he gonna be like, well, maybe I should stop swinging because like I'm gonna strike? No, bro, just keep swinging. You're gonna hit eventually. If you try 99, 100 times to run a business, start a business, whatever you want to do, ice cream truck business, 99 times it fails. You only need that one time to work and it washes everything else off and your life changed forever. That's it.
Dude, it's crazy. I feel like I'm talking to someone who's been through it all. But I mean, you're fucking younger than me, and you just live.
Bro, if I tell you some of the losses I took in my life, and I'm not even talking about some like real hardship financial, I'm like, big L's, like, where I had to start from zero. I made everything I had that whole year, lost it all. Bad trade, I lost it all. Like, sometimes you just live with the burden. If you're around positive people, you just get back on the high horse and you just keep doing your thing. Don't let the negativity of others kind of construe what you're doing in life, because 99, like most of the time, the only reason why they're being negative to you is because they have no confidence in themselves. Like, if you told your parents right now, Mom, I'm dropping out of school to sell sneakers, what are your parents going to say? What, are you fucking crazy? My parents are the same thing. What, are you fucking crazy? And then it got to a point where they were like, so where's all this money coming from? Like, I don't understand. They were kids. They're like, what are you selling drugs? I'm like, what? No, bro. What are you talking about?
Just doing it the right way.
Yeah, you gotta do it the right way, man. No shortcuts in life. Just do it the right way.
Amen to that, brother. I can fuck with that motto. All right, that's gonna do it for this segment, Kriegs Korner. Thanks to my boy Antonio Brito for joining me.
Got you, Adam. Anytime, right?
Yo, where can they find you on socials?
If you want to like tag it in, it's like underscore ANTONEE underscore.
That's Instagram, right?
Yeah, it's my Instagram.
That's what you use most. You don't fuck with the Twitter. You don't fuck with the Twitter.
My Twitter handle I think is the same thing actually. So.
Word. I'll put it underneath for everyone.
If anybody has any questions or anything, just feel free to reach out. Hey, what do you think about this stock? Or hey, what do you think about this shoe? Bro, I'll give anybody free advice. It doesn't matter to me.
What do you think about What do you think about Sundial?
Sundial, is that a battery company?
No. That's the new weed stock. That's been fucking. It was like in the GameStop AMC saga. Yo, were you wrapped up in that? Were you wrapped up in that AMC GameStop shit?
No, but I shorted it recently, and I made a little bit of money. But
you will literally sound like the hedge fund guys that you weren't trying to be. Short the big ones.
It was literally, I watched Wolf of Wall Street. I fell in love with it. Like The Big Short, all these guys living this cool life, jet. Like, I love that stuff, man.
Yeah. I'm hoping like the stock market turns into, the next, have a job and do whatever you got to do for now. Cause, unlike you, I think I will end up working for somewhere or something for a little bit and then just using that money, reinvest and just try.
Reinvest it how you want to do it. Create something that will supplement the life you want. Cause I know what you want to do. You want to be on a podcast. You want to meet people. You want to travel. You want to get the whole shebang out of it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to live my best life.
You said, bro, I would love to be a podcaster, to have my own show, to have my own setup, to meet new celebrities and people. I need that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to live in the worlds. All right, that's gonna do it. Thanks, Antonio, for joining me. See you guys tomorrow.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. In case you hadn't heard, your favorite Renegade Sports Media Group has its own Patreon. Go to patreon.com/Vendetta Sports Media to support our efforts to continuously bring you sports, gaming, and other media coverage as only we can. We've got 4 different membership tiers. For $3 a month, we'll give you a simple thank you on our Patreon site. For $6 a month, you get a thank you and you get to become a recruit in Jackson Law's Vendetta University Gaming Series. For $10 a month, you get everything from the previous tiers, a special thank you at the end of our videos, free access to our upcoming Discord chat, and a free koozie after 4 months. And then the big dog, $50 a month, gets you everything from the previous tiers, as well as opportunities for Fantasy League invites, stream gaming, possible invites to mock NFL and NBA draft sessions, a once-a-month Google Hangout, and after 4 months, a free t-shirt. Yeah! Go to patreon.com/Vendetta Sports Media and help us to improve our pledge to bring you the best sports, gaming, and other media coverage.
All right, welcome back to this edition of Kriegs Korner. That's Corner with a K. I'm pleased to welcome back Scotty Ice. Scott, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, man. Glad to be back. Episode 4 with me.
Episode 4 with you. This is episode 5 for the pod. But we have some NFL stuff that we're looking forward to talking to, some draft preview, we're gonna go over some of the offseason news already. But Scott, I have a question for you. I know
Let's hear it.
you're a big TikTok guy, big Twitter guy. How much would it cost you to delete your social medias forever and never use them again?
Like all social media.
All social media, like never again. No Snapchat, no Instagram, no TikTok, no Facebook, no Twitter, nothing.
Dude, I don't know if you could even put a price on it. I mean, we'd have to be pushing like $10 million more. Like, yeah, upwards of 7 figures.
My answer is I would say I'm somewhere between like 1.5 and 2. But like I said, if someone just drops me off a duffel bag of $1 million, like there's nothing I'm going to say no to be honest.
You know, man, it's also like, I mean, I'm addicted to Twitter and TikTok and Instagram and all of it, but like we are getting up there in age, right? Like eventually, is this going to be part of my life forever, or like am I going to turn 30 and I'm not going to care anymore? Like once I get married, have kids, like am I still going to be fucking swiping on TikTok? Like,
Probably.
am I
Well,
done?
it'll be the next wave. But like to me, I can't imagine not following along a football game on Twitter, like as well. Like the primetime games, like I want to watch. Like I'm watching the game and I got Twitter on the other monitor. Like there's maybe it's just like like you said, the age we are where like we kind of grew up with that and we don't
Yeah.
know we don't know what's gonna happen. Like we don't know a life without it, but I don't know. I posed a question in the Slack earlier, but I didn't get the feedback I wanted. But I was just curious. That was something that's on my mind because there were
I need Twitter, man. I couldn't live without Twitter.
me too. Twitter's probably the only one I can't live without. TikTok, I mean, I use, but I'm not a big fan of. Instagram's like, Facebook because I haven't fucking logged on in 6 months at least.
Dude,
But
you've also got a girlfriend, man. Once you don't have a girlfriend, these like Instagram, you need it to just like, I mean, you just need it to look at pretty people. Like,
but even before that, like I was never an Instagram. Twitter's my thing. I mean, I love Twitter. You'll always find me scrolling Twitter. There's nothing, you can always find something new on that. And TikTok was kind of getting there, and especially in the height of quarantine. I was like
yeah.
I was hardcore going through that. But like, yeah, I don't know. Now that you give me your answer, I'm kind of thinking my answer was low. But like, I would say 1.52 right now. Give me a bag. I'll delete them all forever. I did pose the question that had nothing to do with work because obviously for everything that we do at the site, socials are a huge part of it.
Right.
All right, I just want to get into that. All right, so now into the NFL portion of our show, the sports, Vendetta Sports. The big news coming out the last few-ish days, it's been leaking slowly, is that Russ is unhappy in Seattle. What's the deal? What do you think about that? I mean, he's been sacked more than any other quarterback in the last few years, but I mean, it's not like they haven't won there. They're sure they can win. What do you think he's so unhappy about?
It's crazy, man. I mean, they've never like the past like 5 or 6 years. I mean, even since like the Legion of Boom, they've never put together a good offensive line in front of him. Like he's always had no time to throw. He's always been hit. I mean, there was that at some point, like they had that left tackle who had never even played
Russell Okung.
like football. No, who's that guy? I think I should know his name. I think it was like something Font, Fant, and he had never fucking like played on the line at a high level, and they just threw him into left tackle because he was big, and they had no money because they were spending elsewhere. And like I mean, at some point, I guess you just kind of get fed up with it. But if I'm Seattle, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to smooth that over. Like there's no amount of picks or anything that is worth giving up Russell Wilson for. That man is magic. That man is like every bettor's worst nightmare to be on the other side of. Like there's no one, even, I mean, potentially Mahomes, like there is no one I would like least rather bet against than Russell Wilson. That man is terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, I bet on Russ a lot this year. He did me well. But even just like historically, he's so mobile and like I guess as he's getting a little bit older, like he wants to chill in the pocket a little bit more, and I get that. But I don't know. And like you said, the Seahawks better figure it out. Pete Carroll's a good coach. At least I think he's a good coach. I mean, he's always had great talent no matter where he's been. But
I think he's good.
I think they'll figure it out. But I mean, would you ever,
Dude,
if you're the Seahawks, would you trade him ever?
hell no, for nothing. And
Okay.
even for him, man, like I'm all about player empowerment, and like if he doesn't like the city of Seattle or like whatever, okay, if you want to leave, but like that team has made the playoffs every single year, and obviously like in recent years it's in large part to, like because of him, but we've seen other great quarterbacks in much worse situations who like can't get to a winning team. Like I mean, Matt Stafford, who I love and who we'll talk about in a bit, like someone like that, or Deshaun this year was miserable. We'll talk about him also, but Russ, like okay, maybe his team's not winning the fucking Super Bowl every single year, but that man is at a great spot on a stable team with a stable coach, stable GM. Like they're always contending. I don't think it gets any better than that.
Yeah, the NFL is weird because there's a certain amount of teams that are always, you know, they're always in the mix. They have solid coaches, solid front offices, and they know they're always in playoff contention, whether they're even in the playoffs every year or they're not. Like, obviously, the Seahawks have been in it for as long as I can remember, but there are solid foundations. And Russ, like asking for, even if he hinted at asking for a trade, like imagine getting shipped off to the Texans right now. Like, what would you do?
Yeah,
It's the most like,
exactly.
and football is like, or even the Jets, like that. Just imagine being, I don't know.
There's nowhere that he can go where he'd be happier. Like me, like
Nowhere.
Miami is like in a good spot. Like, but like I don't know how you leave Seattle where they're making the playoffs every single year. Like I don't know, man.
Yeah, you're
He's
with an
gotta.
organization that knows what they're doing, and they're proven that they're capable of winning and competing at a high level. So I don't see why he would go anywhere else. But you mentioned
Yep.
Stafford before, and obviously we actually never talked about this on the show, but so the probably the biggest trade thus far of the NFL offseason was Stafford for Goff. Stafford went to the Rams, and Goff went to the Lions, along with us, and the Rams gave up all their picks. I mean, McVay hates his picks, but I think you're a Stafford guy. Give me your quick thoughts on that.
So I love Stafford, and everything I just said about Seattle, like complimenting Russ's like situation and why he shouldn't leave. Like Stafford had the exact opposite, where he has never been in a spot where he should like be a successful quarterback, and he's no matter what, like I feel like he's always performed well. Look at these stats that I looked up because I fucking did some research.
Scotty's prepared.
Scotty research. 2019 Matt Stafford, top 5 in total QBR versus man coverage, top 5 versus zone coverage total QBR, and top 5 total QBR versus the blitz. The only list that he wasn't top 5 was red zone total QBR, and he was number 6. So like no one's gonna fucking tell me that he's not a great quarterback. And if I'm the Rams, I mean, Goff got him to the Super Bowl when that team was like absolutely loaded and he was on his rookie deal, so they had to give him the extension. But the past 2 years, he's really fucking sucked, and I think he's held them back. Like McVay, we all know, is a genius. Um, and yeah, I mean, Goff has just really held them back. And Stafford can freaking sling the ball. So I get it. Like they gave up 2 first-round picks, but I think that was also like in large part getting off of Goff's deal, which was way too much money for a guy who was not even helping. I mean, in my opinion, he was hurting. So that combined with like, in my opinion, Stafford is easily a top 10 quarterback, and he's going to finally have a good team around him with a strong defense, some weapons, a great coach. Like, I think that they're in business to seriously contend.
Yeah, I mean Stafford's a tough son of a bitch. There's that famous clip that goes around every time
Yeah,
he has a big player, someone injury news comes out about it. But there is you know, he's given it all to that city, and I actually just finished writing something up today. But he, you know, he felt bad about asking for a trade, and he just seems like such a good dude. But I mean, how could you want to stay in Detroit and not win a game? He's gone through 3 head coaches in his since being drafted in 2009, and like you said, he's definitely, I would agree, he's a top 10 quarterback. And Goff's a bottom 20 at this rate. So
hell yeah.
I don't know what the don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what the Lions are gonna do. I mean, their new coach seemed like he was a cool, like rah-rah type guy, but I never heard of him before he got hired, so I don't know. And not McVay. And Goff is used to having McVay and such a great offensive-minded, like forward-thinking coach, and
Yep.
I don't know what's gonna happen for that. I
I
mean, I
think
think
Detroit's just in full rebuild. Like I think they were just like, listen, it's not they're not going to win it all with Stafford. Let's just take some picks, and I guess they're just going to try and rebuild it from the ground up. I mean, they fired Patricia. Like I think they're just going to start from scratch. What else
yeah,
can you do? I mean, it sucks to be a Lions fan, man. Those guys have it the worst.
I don't know about the worst. It could be a Jets fan.
They're up there. They're up there. You're right.
Yeah, no, they're for sure up there, and they definitely have had issues to overcome, and I don't think they're going to overcome it anytime soon. But all right, moving on to our next quarterback. Where do you think Deshaun ends up?
So I mean, I know where you hope he ends up, but in my opinion, like the team that has the most to offer and the team that has the most to offer for him, is Miami. Um,
God, I would
so
hate
they're
that if he's in my division.
I know it
If he's
sucks
in
for
my
you, but
division, oh my God.
so here's like the trade that makes sense for Miami. They can give up the third pick, which is actually Houston's pick, ironically, which that would have to hurt to all Texans fans. Like the main piece of the Deshaun Watson trade would be your pick that you fucking gave up for a left tackle who's like pretty good, but like whatever.
You're not
So they
going
have
to
the
win a
third
football game with
pick.
him.
Yeah, exactly. The 18th pick this year, and they can also, you obviously throw in Tua, who was just picked in the top 5 and has a lot of potential, even though he wasn't great in his rookie year. Like we all saw what Tua was at Alabama. Like that man can fucking throw the ball. And then whatever other draft picks I got to throw in, like second rounders, third rounders. Like if I'm Miami, like you got a great defense. I mean, they were winning games with Fitzpatrick, and then I mean, how many games did they win with their defense alone this year? Just like a random pick six or like punt return. Like
Yeah, I mean,
Tua was pretty bad
they
this year,
scored in
and that
like
team,
14 consecutive games with their defense, some crazy number like that. Maybe not
yeah,
14, but like, yeah, their defense was good. Brian Flores seems to be a good coach. He seems to be the first one that's coming out of the Brady, not Brady, the Belichick tree. Like
yeah,
he's doing well. Patricia obviously didn't. I don't know. I mean, I would love for him to be a Jet. I mean, I am a Sam Darnold guy. I don't think he's as bad as people give him the credit as people make him out to be. He's been literally stuck in the worst possible situation, super shitty
yep,
coaching,
for
and
sure.
then they go spend all this money for Le'Veon Bell, who's not going to help anyone.
But
They literally just paid the man to go go to the Super Bowl with the Chiefs, but that's a whole other story.
the thing with the Jets is like I feel like the Dolphins, they have their foundation, and they're like, like the classic term, like they're a quarterback away. Like if you plug in Watson to that team, like that team is a legit contender to win it all. Whereas like the Jets don't really have anything, on the ground right now.
Oh
Like
my God,
just
the
they
Jets
have
are
no
literally
foundation.
the worst team on paper, top to bottom. They have no one. Frank Gore was getting the primary of their carries. The man is like fucking 150 years old. He's a walking Hall of Famer. He just put the gold jacket on and retire. But instead, the Jets
Yeah, he
just
could
want to
have
keep giving
retired
him
5 years
carries.
ago and still be a Hall of Famer. I don't know why he's still playing, but I don't know. Like, if you're the Jets, like, okay, you have the assets to get Deshaun, but then you have nothing else, and so like Deshaun is still in this purgatory of being a great quarterback on a bad team. Like, maybe he can fight the Jets to 8-8, but it's still not a playoff team, and you got no picks after that. It's
Yeah,
tough. I mean, obviously you want him, like he's a fucking superstar, like a top 5 QB in my opinion, hands down, but in my opinion, Miami makes a little more sense.
yeah, I would agree that he's not going to end up in New Jersey probably, and I'm okay with that. I don't want the Jets to give it too much because at this point, all they have is their draft picks and the idea that they can potentially do well. And I'm hoping that Joe Douglas and the rest of that scouting department figures out something and what to do. Just whatever it is, just don't draft that BYU quarterback. He's not good. I watched the BYU Coastal game last year, and it was just like, what are we doing? The kid didn't even know to throw the end zone. Like you need to score,
Oh, Zach Wilson?
you
Yeah.
got to throw the end zone. If the Jets were to move, I'm okay with the Jets moving around and getting rid of their 2 pick and getting more draft capital down the road because they're not doing anything with that pick. And after Trevor Lawrence, I think this draft is pretty much wide open. I mean, there's some good receivers, but Darnold needs more than a receiver. He needs a lot of fucking help.
Yeah, that team has got nothing. And that's coming from a Giants fan. Like, I'm not feeling great either, but
If
I know
we're
we
go
showed signs this year. But
if we're going interdivision stuff, we'll go to the Eagles. What do you think Eagles fans are gonna do if they trade Carson Wentz for Nick Foles? Straight up. Just they were so wrong, and like, okay, we're gonna fix our wrongness by being quadruple wrong on top of that. Like, do you think that's even possible? Do you think he's going anywhere?
Wentz, I think they're definitely going to trade Wentz. I don't think there's any way they bring back Foles for Wentz. I think I mean there's like contradicting reports about what you can get for Wentz right now. Like I mean, Stafford just went for 2 firsts, but like you got to factor in that was also like they were giving up picks to get rid of Goff. Um, I doubt you can get more than a second round pick for Wentz after how bad he was the past 2 years.
Atrocious.
Um, like there's so many teams that need a quarterback right now. Like and the Colts are like great on paper, but they Rivers is done. Like I don't think they want to go back to Brissett. Like do they want to reunite Frank Reich, who was like the Wentz MVP coach, with Wentz? Like how much would they give up for that? I don't know how much you can give up for Wentz, but he sucks. I think Philly's done with him. Like he didn't win that Super Bowl. Like I don't think they have any loyalty to him. I think he's been awful for 2 years. All reports are that like he's not getting along great with his teammates. He never really built those bonds. So I think it's time to move on.
But for some reason, Harry Roseman still is in love with that guy. Apparently, he's got a fat head of Wentz in his office. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I thought Wentz was the future for that franchise, and that they started 11-0,
Same, dude.
and he tore his ACL. Like some people just never can return from that, and for that, it's really shitty. But all right,
It's crazy, man.
we'll wrap up with our quarterback talk. We kind of previewed it a little bit with the draft. Do you think the Jets are going to draft a quarterback?
At 2, I don't know, man. Like, so I'll tell you who my favorite quarterback is, and I mean, I don't think anyone else agrees, but I loved watching Mac Jones play. I mean, obviously, Bama has the most talent. Like, they have like 4 first-round wide receivers out there. They got 5 stars on the line, but like that man made every single throw. Like when Joe Burrow, he had that amazing season 2 years ago, and he broke every record. Everyone's like, "Yo, will we ever see a season like that again?" And then Mac Jones just came in with Bama and like had the same season, if not a little better. That man threw it all over the field like it was nothing. And he also just seems like kind of like the man. Like he's not like this ripped quarterback. Like they were showing pictures where he's just kind of like a little chubby. Like he can probably work a little harder on his body. I just think he's got potential, and he's proven that he can fucking make any throw and win big games. He'd
Yeah,
be
I
my
mean,
guy.
and we were talking about comparing him to Burrow, and you gotta remember that the Alabama schedule this year was just straight SEC teams. Like he didn't have a shitty,
Yep.
non-conference warm-up game that he could put up 600 yards for like Burrow did. Mac Jones went up against like the best of the best. SEC is supposed to be the premier conference in college football, and he ate through them all.
Yeah,
I
and I don't feel like those like the Bama offense. It's not very gimmicky. Like Ohio State, I feel like has a college look to it. Like they've never had a fucking good QB come out of Ohio State. Like
dude,
Haskins,
if
disaster, all
if
those
the Jets
guys.
take Justin Fields, I'm gonna be so goddamn mad because he has literally proven nothing. He couldn't even prove that he was a starter for a few years on that team behind
Yeah,
Tate
he couldn't.
Martell. There's no significant jump he took. He played 6 games this year, and then whatever you count the playoff game, just
I mean, he was behind Jake Fromm at Georgia, and Fromm was like probably the reason that Georgia never actually won at all. Then he transferred to Ohio State, and I mean, he was obviously like he had a good couple years, but Ohio State's playing in the Big Ten where they have like 95% of the 5-star recruits in that conference. Like it's not really a competition.
yeah. And circling back to Jones, I think we kind of got a little bit of this effect with Tua is that when you play with literally the best of the best in your competition, that maybe your hype gets a little bit inflated. And we might see that with Trevor Lawrence too. He obviously Clemson's a powerhouse
Yeah,
college football program, so that he played with like great people, and then you go to Jacksonville and you look around and you're like, oh shit, like who do I throw to the ball to? I
yep.
don't know. I mean, I just like I said, I hope the Jets stick with Darnold. So I don't want them taking a quarterback at two. If they take the receiver from Bama, I'm drawing a blank right
Oh,
now.
Devontae Smith.
Yeah, they take him, it'll be whatever. I mean, I don't. There's so much more away from that I think that you're better off just trading that pick away, getting getting some good help, or and getting like I don't know a decent veteran that can help turn your team around in the locker room and just get a shit ton of draft capital. I mean, this draft seems kind of boring. Once
Yeah, it's a
Trevor,
little boring.
yeah, Trevor Lawrence
Um,
at one, and then after that, it's just like, it doesn't fucking matter. It's Trevor Lawrence and everyone else.
yeah, there's one like really good, I think, guard or tackle from Oregon who's like supposed to be a sure thing. I'm actually I'm willing to go on record to say that like I don't love Devontae Smith. I just like his body is so fucking weird looking. I refuse to believe that he's a high level like NFL athlete. Obviously, he just won the Heisman. Like I'm sure he's gonna end up being amazing. I'm gonna look like a fucking idiot, but I would not draft that guy. His body just looks too fucking weird. Like I can't see it holding up. Um,
Yeah, his legs are mad skinny. She could just snap in half
it's
at any given
crazy. I don't know
second.
how he. It's crazy, but
All right. Now that we got through our NFL, I don't know. I would say clean up. Let's get back into the gambling stuff. I told you to look at some futures. Tell me who you like. I gave you. I got a few. Why don't we go? We'll go one for one. You go first.
all right. I just got two futures, both like way too early Super Bowl lines, just off Bovada that I just looked up real quick. That like make the most sense to me value wise. The first one, I'll go with the Dolphins. Um, I think there's a few different like avenues to them contending. One of them is just running it back and hoping that Tua makes the leap. Like with obviously training camp in his rookie year was cut short. He was coming off the injury. There was obviously COVID. Like it was definitely a tough year to be a rookie. So just one more year of good health and just running it back with that team that was like really good, and their defense kept them in every single game. I think there's value there, and of course the other option is them getting Deshaun Watson. Like if you get them Deshaun, then they're instant contenders. Like those odds, I think, would instantly be maybe the third or fourth worst to bet like value wise in the NFL. So I think at 33 to 1, which is where I see it right now on Bovada, like that's pretty fat.
Yeah, I'm looking at a different book right now, but so you got them at 33 to 1. I actually do like that. It's a lot of value. To be honest, I'm looking at, it sounds shitty, but like the Cowboys, I don't know. Dude, if Dak is healthy, I think he's a top five quarterback in the NFL. I mean, I Jerry Jones loves spending money on offense, but if he decides to smarten up a little bit and secure up the defense, I mean, they couldn't stop anyone this year. And uh, actually, no, I'm sticking with it. But paying running backs in the NFL is a horrible idea. They gave Zeke so much goddamn money that they might not even
Yeah,
have
it's
any
tough.
opportunity. But the Cowboys, good quarterbacks win the NFL, and I think Dak's a great quarterback. He's got some, obviously, got hurt last year, and they look like the favorites to win the NFC East before everything went to shit for them. And then I'll give you my second one, and then you end this off with your second. I'll take the Colts at plus 2,500. I see them. Um,
That's mine
that's
too, man.
damn. It's just like I believe in Frank Reich and their coaching staff, and you never know who they're going to get. The value stays the
Yeah,
same. You take a flyer on them right now. I mean, they've been in the mix for every single big name quarterback that's been shopped around. All the guys that we named before, they've all been at some point or another linked to the Colts. I can't look at that and say shitty value. All right, since you took them, I'll let you elaborate, but I'll throw in the 49ers. They're also linked to a lot of these quarterback trades. Kyle Shanahan's a great fucking coach. We saw what he did last year. I mean, obviously I lost to the Chiefs, but if they figure out what the hell they're going to do with Garoppolo, and I trust a football coach that's going to run the ball, do the things they need to do to win games, build around the right way, and I know Robert Salah just left it for the Jets, but you know, when you're around that long, you leave good impressions, and the next coordinator and the next all of his next coaches, they're gonna know what to do. So I like
Yep.
those. I like those numbers.
No, yeah, I mean, I think that the Colts are fucking stacked, and then they actually have, I think, if not the most cap space in the league, they're up there, and I feel like they always are. So they're like they can get better. And yeah, I mean, they're the definition of a quarterback away. Like that team is stacked. As long as they don't bring back Brissett, like I'd be open to them giving a try at Wentz, like trying to rekindle with the old offensive coordinator from Philly. Obviously call and see what the deal with Russ is or with Deshaun. But I'm not sure what they're going to do there, which is why it's a little scary. It's tough to take a team, and it's the same with the Dolphins where you don't know what they're going to do at quarterback. I do have one more that I like, and I'm seeing at 40-1. And they have a stigma to them, but I think it's going to change now that they finally fired their coach. The Chargers. I feel like the Chargers are always just like a team that nobody wants to play. Like they're in every game, and yet for the past few years they've lost every single fucking close game. But they just hired Brandon Staley from the Rams. He was the Rams defensive coordinator this year, and the Rams, if they didn't have the best defense in the league, they were one of the three best. So they got playmakers on both sides of the ball. Justin Herbert, immediately proved that he's a real deal, that he was a steal of this past draft. He looks better than Tua. He might even look better than Burrow. Who knows? So I kind of like the Chargers.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be dangerous. It's tough in that division, obviously, but
the rookie of the year and then he had such a shitty coach. Anthony Lynn was atrocious. So it's to me, I like to bet on coaches. So like I said, Shanahan. But I want to end on this is that I'm looking at the odds for, like I said, the odds for next year's Super Bowl, and the bottom three teams are the Texans, who literally are the most incompetent franchise in the world right now. They couldn't even hire a goddamn coach. Then the Lions, and then the Jets. That is
Yep.
kind of all you need to know. Those are literally the laughing stock of the league, and that, of course, I root for the goddamn Jets.
Listen, man, my team has been hovering around that bottom 7 for like 5 or 6 years now. So
Listen,
it's not much
you've
better.
gotten two in your lifetime. I haven't gotten anything.
I have gotten 2.
I
Those
just
were
need.
2 great
I just want one.
runs. You
I
deserve
just
one. You deserve one. Not this year.
the Mets are going to give it to me before the Jets will. That's for sure.
The Mets have
No,
been close in recent years.
yeah, I mean, we went to the World Series in 2015, but I mean, the closest the Jets have ever been were back-to-back AFC Championship games, but that was with Mark Sanchez and Rex Ryan, so that kind of is all you need to know.
Yeah,
Sanchez never
I mean
was
those were
anywhere
pretty
near.
electric too.
I
Those were
mean, listen,
both pretty electric.
if I was blogging back then, and my life would be so much different. I mean, that Ryan was literally one of the greatest coaches to laugh at and to laugh with. But
Yeah, that was a ton of fun.
anything else, Scott?
No, that's it, man. That's all I got.
All right, brother. That'll do it. That'll do it for this edition of Scotty Ice's Six Pack on Kriegs Korner. That's Corner with the K. Thanks again for Scott for joining me. That's all, folks.